Save me the stress, the energy, and maybe some tears on the way. Plus my advice for making the most of your college years, whether you're starting as a freshman, a transfer, or going back later in life. Okay. Something I wish I knew. Something I wish I knew was that everyone is figuring themselves out, even though it may not look like they're not. But when I first got to the campus at my college, I remember walking around and thinking, wow, everyone looks like they already belong here. But also it's because I was with a lot of upperclassmen. And like for me, I didn't arrive at my college until like a day later than everyone else. And I felt very awkward at first, but like sometimes you'll feel awkward, but later in the weeks or the semester, you definitely feel a lot more confident about yourself. But what I didn't realize was that so many people felt that exact same way. And to be honest, like, you don't have to be very confident at first, because like a lot of people, especially freshmen, they usually are shy and don't open up until later in the semester. Even though there are students who have been here since their freshman year, but they were still figuring out their majors, social lives, and futures. That realization alone took away almost all the pressure from it. So if you are walking onto a new campus and feeling out of place, know that you're not alone, and also there's resources on your campus that you are going to. And just reach out to them, or reach out to a friend, reach out to someone else. Number 2, your professors aren't scary gatekeepers. They actually want you to exceed. Well, I think in my first year, like freshman year me, had always thought that professors were untouchable and were very intimidating, but I think that's also because I was also in high school when I started college, who also didn't have the time for students unless you were some kind of genius. And my GPA, well, it's a good GPA, but I always felt like I was very dumb. But when I finally worked up the courage to go to the office hours, I would also ask the questions, or I would ask like my professor after the class about some things. But that's when I realized that actually most of your professors are pretty approachable, and your professors actually respect the students who do ask those questions, who care about what the subjects that they're teaching, and who actually show up and don't like drop out within the first 2 weeks of school, because a lot of people do that. They'll like either class or drop the class or not go after that ad drop session. But I think I wish I knew that when emailing a professor or dropping by office hours isn't annoying. It's literally what. Honestly, those conversations sometimes help me more than the actual lectures or what was going on in the class. Friendships don't just fall into your lap. Well, for me, high school, it kind of just spoiled me, because you see the exact same people every day for the last 4 years. And friendships just happen in college, especially the transfer student like myself. You don't always have that built-in structure. You literally saw the same two people for 2 years, or you only saw them for a year or 6 months out of the year. You might only see people twice a week, once a week. It depends on what your schedule's looking like, and then that's it. You don't see them for that week. I wish I knew sooner that you actually have to work to make friendships happen. Like, right now, I'm in one of my classes, my Women's and Gender Studies class. I have a group of friends. 3 out of the 4 of them, we all sit together. It's very fun, because then we go and chill after. But also, like, if you're just very shy, definitely try to talk to someone who else might be shy, or just opening up. Because for me, like, I wasn't someone who is very open to people. I usually am very shy. Like, it takes me a long time to open up. And also, even starting conversations in study groups, it always feels awkward at first, but just those small steps actually lead to real connections and actual friendships. And not, like, to maintain a 2.0 or higher, and sometimes with doing all your classes, you get stressed out. You may get anxiety, you may have other mental health problems come up. But for me, this one's a big one because I grew up having mental health issues, when I was in high school. So I just feel this one's a much bigger one for me. Because when I was growing up, like in grade school, I had always thought that success in college meant pushing yourself to the absolute limit, getting burnout, pulling all-nighters, skipping meals, drowning in caffeine just to get those A's. But here's the actual truth that I learned. Having a burnout is real, and even getting those A's aren't really sacrificing your well-being, because at the end of the day, you need to maintain your own mental health. You also need to maintain your body. You need to maintain your health. And if you're doing that on a constant daily, it gets worse and worse as time progresses. And you shouldn't really be sacrificing yourself for getting the perfect grade, because if you're doing that, then what's the point, actually? Because why damage yourself in a situation that could harm you further in life? But I just wish I knew that asking for help, taking those mental health days, those rests, those everything, or even dropping the class if it's too much, isn't a weakness. It's just smart, because your mental health does matter, and it does follow you way beyond in college. And taking care of yourself and your own mental health is non-negotiable. Okay, now here's my college advice. Not many people would know, but you should always build your relationships early. I think one of the smartest things is that you can do while you are in college is to form connections from the start. Not with your classmates, but professors, advisors, people in clubs, people that you meet at your tailgates, football games, any of the athletics. You never know when those connections will come in handy, whether it's for study groups, job references, making resumes, or just having someone to sit down with at lunch. Because you don't get lunch like you did in high school, but you get it at a different time. Second college advice I have is get involved on campus. I know that everyone says this, but it's actually true. Your college experience will be so much better than just going to your classes. For me, for example, I do rugby. I'm part of a sorority. I'm part of other things. And, for me, it's definitely been better because, I get to meet people that I wouldn't, really talk to. But also, I'm a very shy person. But I've opened up to so many people. Also, going to the gym, it's so nice. But also, you get to meet people, and those people can become your friends, and then you guys, chill out, and it's so fun. Those are just really the moments you'll actually remember, not just the lectures. And those who are transfer students, don't think it's too late. I joined rugby in my transfer year. I also joined, I was rushing for a sorority. I also did other things, and it made all the difference in making me feel like I belonged more. Another advice I have is time management, sooner rather than later. Well, this is a big one because, for me, my schedule's, very busy. I start at 5 a.m., I don't end until, midnight. So my days are always busy, but having that time management is good because you're just... But in high school or community college, I could get away with cramming the night before for an exam or a test. But in university, not so much. Your assignments pile up so fast. Like, for me, example, I had 5 assignments due on Sunday, and I have three of them left. But having a planner like Google Calendar, or even just writing down the due dates on a sticky note and then sticking it up on your desk or your laptop, or just somewhere you can read it and remind yourself, saves a lot of time, because then you're not rushing. Then you actually have some time to figure it all out. Time management does sound boring, but it's also the key to not drowning and burning out, and also it saves you a bunch of time instead of like cramming everything into one little thing. So that's like a very college advice that I would give to others. Another one would, don't compare your journey to others. This one's a hard one. You'll see people graduate early, landing amazing internships, people who seem like they have it all figured out. And it's easy to think, oh, I'm behind, oh, I'm this, I'm that. But everyone's journey is difficult. Because either a lot of people did come into college after high school. Some also may transfer. Some also may go back to college after, like, not attending for so long. And your paths may look different, but at the end of the day, you are going to get a degree no matter what, unless you drop out. But, like, your path doesn't really make it any less valuable, but focus on your own lane, your growth, and your goals, and do not compare yourself to anyone, because that's really just saying, oh, look at this person, I can't do this. Lastly, one college advice I would give is using the resources that you're already paying for. The tutoring centers, counseling, career services, the different programs, whatever that your campus does. They're all including your tuition, but so many students never use them. Well, I didn't use them at first, and now looking back at it, I wish I had. Free therapy sessions, those are great, because, like, for me, I've always struggled with it. Getting some free resume help, free workshops, take that advantage as much as you can, because, like, it can get stressful. And also, like, if you're applying for jobs and you need to write a resume and you don't know where to start, you could always ask someone and they could help you. And it's just a good idea to do it, like, while you're in college, because then that can help you in the long run. Those are some of the biggest things I wish I knew before I started university / my college journey, and some advice I picked up along the way as a transfer student. If you're about to start your own college journey and are applying, whether as a freshman or transfer, just remember it's okay to not have everything figured out. College is just much about growth and self-discovery as it is about your academics. If this video was helpful, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop your own advice in the comments so that we all can help each other out. Thanks for hanging out with me, and good luck on your journey. You got this.